Okay. We is Bizak. We is back in the house. Let me see about that other one though. Mm. 'Cause there could be another one going live. Let's go check that out. Okay, I had it. Salute, salute. Beast 2K can't be stopped. Salute, salute, warrior. Salute. Let's bring this in a little bit. Uh-huh. Okay, we coming up in the building hard and fast. Son, what up? What's going on, son? Mars Math, Mars Mathematics Almighty, the family up in here. Rich Gang Gang. Rich Gang Gang is up in here. Modern Warrior Wing Chun with it be. Dwayne Parker. Texas checking in. Z Cruz. Drinking this coffee, about to go to the gym. You already know what it is. You already know what it is. When Burley on deck, Dink Professor. Rich Gang Gang in the building. Rich Gang in the building. You see, I got me a cup of mud here. This is a real cup of mud right here. This is a cup of mud, because we get it out the mud and we still drinking the mud. But I'm gonna have to slow down on my mud, people. This is crazy. Word from the doctor. I may have to slow down on my coffee drinking. Self-defense session. Would it be? Would it be? That's right. It's hurting my heart too. I may have to slow down on the Java. They want me to slow down on my coffee bean intake, man. Yes, this is crazy, people. This is crazy. 52 chain. Yeah, this is crazy. They trying to slow my coffee drinking down, people. They say I'm going to have to cut it back and drink decaf. Oh man, I had an acid reflux thing. I ended up in the hospital, people. I was up in the hospital. Yeah, it wasn't, I was up in the ER. They had me up in the ER. It wasn't no long stay. But pretty much what they saying is I got to go get a camera stuck down my nose into my throat. This is craziness, people. Now they gonna have to fight me to sleep. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna have to be me and the doctor in Mortal Kombat. If he gets the victory, I'll go to sleep. But they're gonna have to fight me to sleep. I ain't with that sleep. What exercise would you recommend to make me stronger for boxing and cardio? Cardio and core workout. All core workouts are good. That's right. That's right, people. I'm gonna have to cut back on my coffee. But until then, get your coffee, get your stick. Make sure you got your stick. That's right. Footwork is what it is. Make sure you got your stick, people. Jumping rope, swimming. That's right. That's all of the good things. That's all of the good core exercises. That's all good core exercises right there, people. You know what I'm saying? Swimming is the best. I love swimming. I think I think in one of my lives I was a dolphin. I think I'm a reincarnated dolphin. I think one of my past lives I was on my dolphin shit for real. Because whenever I get to the water, it's like a connection. Smash that like button, people. Let's get 11 likes up in here. Anybody who came up in here and forgot to smash the like button, it's okay. You can still smash it. You still have time to smash that like button. Smash that like button. Oh, you watching your kids swim laps right now? Oh, that is a blessing. That is a blessing, Mr. Beast 2K. Two times. That is a blessing. That is a blessing. Yeah, your kids should know. Teach your kids how to swim. If your kids don't know how to swim, teach them how to swim. The doctor say it because we forget this rock is more water than rock. It's more water than rock out there. So teach your kids how to swim. Get that out there. Oh, he said a great whale. Okay. 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 You know the orcas are the king of the water. You know the orcas, the killer whales, they the king. They the king. Daniel Phillips, salute, salute. Okay. It's about that time. It's going down. We putting the fire on the stick. You know, and now we all know the stick is the hourglass. When the stick burn out, the live is over. This is the sands of the hourglass, people. The stick. That's right. Let's talk about it. Yes, sir. Let's talk about it. Now, still to this day, there's still some people who don't understand the great concept of 52 blocks. And not to go out on the limb, to put 52 blocks above any other fighting system. We're not doing that here. This is not a comparison thing of which one is better. But what we will say is this: 52 blocks is one of the only arts, if not one of the few, concentrated, focused on defense. How not to be hit. Now, when you say this a lot of times, it still goes over people's head because we are all taught to end the fight you got to hurt the other opponent, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Being the bringer of pain, being the locomotion, the train of pain. There's nothing wrong with that. But the reality is, to bring pain, you must be able to take pain. Now, how much pain is enough pain? That's the question we're all asking. How much pain do you need to take to effectively get rid of your opponent? Me, myself, I believe you don't have to take that much. You can really limit it. But to limit the amount of pain taken in, you have to train your defensive responsibility. That's right. Defensive responsibility. That's the word we're working with now. The emphasis on defense is why I love Shuda Karate so much, which was primary art alongside judo. Okay. One heard that. The more I train and the older I get, the more I realize how true karate is. Yeah, karate is a very good art. Nothing, hold on one second. Let me get to my coffee. Let me get to my coffee, people, because we talking. We about to chop it up. Now, to train in the defense is so important because even when you look at the phrase that Mike Tyson says, everybody has a plan till they get punched in the face. That is such a deep saying. That saying is going down with the deepest of sayings ever to be said by a warrior. And why is it? Because people hear it on the superficial value, which is, you know, everybody has a plan till they get punched in the face. That's true. But now the next question you got to ask yourself is, now, how do you maintain the plan, though? Now, we all got a plan. Your corner men got a plan. You may have a plan, which is make it home if you're being attacked. So, how do you preserve and protect the plan? Defense. See, that's what Mike Tyson was talking about. Everybody has a plan till they get punched in the face. So, how could you hold and maintain true to the plan? You need defense. You have to limit the amount of pain and damage taken in so you can focus still on the offense, which is going to get rid of your opponent. Press one. Press one if you heard me. Because we out here talking. Let's get them lights up in there. Let's get them lights up in there. Come on now. We up in here talking that talk. We deserve more likes. Press one. Press one if we deserve more likes up in here. Press one. We deserve more likes. We can do it. There's some people up in here that ain't even pressed that like button. Don't walk right up in the house. Didn't even rub your feet on the carpet, hang your jacket up and nothing. You're just gonna walk right in the house and sit down on the couch. That's what we doing out here. We just walking up in and sitting on the couch and we ain't gonna say nothing. We ain't gonna say hello or nothing. Come on now, people. We better than that. We better than that. Defense, defensive responsibility. This is the new word, people, because a lot of us ain't defensively responsible. We are offensively responsible, but why are we offensively responsible? Because we're caught up in the ego and the dream that the fight is always going to be in your favor. And that's not true. Even in the course of a fight, the fight may not be in your favor. If you look up Rocky Graziano, when he was fighting, I think it was Tony Zales for the middleweight champion, he was choking on his own blood. And he had to swallow his own blood so he can continue the fight. This man had to swallow his own blood so he can continue the fight. See, we have to protect the offensive willpower. The offensive willpower will take you over the top, but it must be protected. And it must be protected with defense. Your defense will open up your offensive abilities. But you cannot leave it all on offense. You can't leave it all on offense. See, that's like I said, that goes back to the dream that you are always winning. And no, the fight is a wave. Even in the fight, it's a tidal wave going back and forth. And you may have to maintain, like Rocky Graziano did. If he didn't swallow his own blood and keep fighting, he would have lost that fight. But because at that point, Tony Zale was putting them paws on him. He was putting the paws on him. Now, Rock didn't have the greatest defense, but what we're saying is not every part of the fight are you going to be the winner within the fight. Let's say the fight is 5 minutes. You may be the loser for 4 minutes and 30 seconds. But then for the next 30 seconds, you may be the winner. And it was within that 30 seconds that you was able to throw your opponent to the ground. So within the fight, you're going to be a loser, winner. If you're fighting a good opponent, and the only thing that's going to maintain and keep you in that fight is your defense. Rocky Graziano's defense was he could take a punch. It's a crude defense, but it's a defense, no doubt. If you have an iron chin, if your chin is made of adamantium mixed with vibranium, then okay, you can go up in there like Rocky Balboa, just catching the punches with your face and then come back and just take the victory. But that still would be working off of your defense ability to absorb punches. Now, when you look at, that's right, talk about the Rocky Graziano. When you look at what did melanated fighters bring into the world of fighting, and starting with boxing, it was defense. Defense is what melanated fighters brought into the game of fighting, people. Defense. Offense was there, and it was growing. The Jack Johnsons, the George Dixons, the Joe Gans. George Dixon, Canadian first black champion, is credited with creating shadow boxing. He is credited with creating shadow boxing. George Dixon. The whole concept of seeing your opponent was created by a melanated warrior. Joe Gans is credited with perfecting the jab. I think I have my quotes with me. Let me go to my quotes. I want to go to the quotes. We got to go to them quotes. Let's go to the quotes. I had some quotes ready here. Let's see if I still got them, because I smoke a lot of weed. I could have erased them. All right. Johnson was basically a defensive-minded counter puncher. See, when your defense is high, you become a counter striker. The top striker to be is the counter striker. You shoot when he shoot. That's the top of the level of shooting. you know, besides being a sniper and hiding in the bushes. But I'm talking about counter striking is the top line of striking. It's the hardest to get to. So he's saying Johnson was basically a defensive minded counterpuncher. Fainting, fainting, and we're not talking about this type of fainting when you pass out. We're talking about the art of fainting, the art of making a man believe something is happening that's not really happening. Okay? Fainting was still very much in vogue during Jack's time, and he used his head, legs, arms, shoulder, and eyes. Hold on, hold on. Do I gotta read this? Let me read this again, because I don't think y'all trying to hear. I don't think you hear me. With melanated warriors brought into fighting. So you can understand there's no surprise. We have a fighting system built strictly off of defense. Let's go again. Johnson was basically a defensive minded counterpuncher. Fainting was still very much in vogue during Jack's time, and he used his head, legs, arms, shoulders, and eyes to create opening or confuse opponents. He used his head, legs, arms, shoulders, and eyes. Eye feints are real, people. We just watched Jake Paul catch Tyrone Woodley with the old school eye feint. Look at the body and throw high. Jake Paul caught him with the easy. That's not easy, but that's tailor made. Look at the body, throw high. He fell right for it. Jack's time, and used his head, legs, arms, and shoulders and eyes to create openings or confuse opponents. Press one. We talking information. What we got happening down here? Press one. We up in here talking. Yeah, I got my notes. Okay, let's go to Joe Gans. Knock Meezy's in the building. Salute. Family's in the building. Infinite family is in the building. You know, my homie is up in the building. Family. Go back to back. If I go back to back with Knock Meezy, somebody getting punched on and somebody getting their head kicked off like a soccer ball. I'm talking about goal. That's what type of kicks my homie be coming with. He coming with those type of kicks. All right, let's go to Joe Gans, the old master. See, we're going to talk about what Melanated Warriors brought into we brought defense here, man. There's two sides of a coin when it comes to fighting. There's offense and then there's defense. So we're going to go and be confused and be trying to mix 52 blocks up with Wing Chun, and it ain't got nothing to do with none of that stuff. And that's no disrespect. That's their thing. We fry chicken, they make egg rolls. It's no disrespect. It's different cultures. That's all it is. Oh yeah, I got my light in my hand. I'm about to break it down. Joe Gans, the old master, fought from 1893 to 1909 and is credited by most with actually inventing the jab. Hold on, let me light my joint up, because y'all not hearing me. Y'all not even hearing what this melanated warrior invented. Like I'm gonna say it again, because y'all probably missed that. But let me smoke my. Joe Gans is widely credited by most with actually inventing the jab. We talking about this. That right there. Joe Gans is credited with inventing that. So we're not going to get confused. We're not going to confuse 52 blocks with Wing Chun and all of this other stuff, because we're hearing it right here. The jab itself, the weapon, one of the most highly defensive / offensive weapons ever to be created, was credited to Joe Gans, melanated fighter. He developed the art of using it both defensive. Hold on. Hold on. Let me. Gans, Gans, Gans. The old master fought from 1893 to 1909 and is credited by most with actually inventing the jab. He developed the art of using it both defensively to disrupt his opponent's attack, or on offense to force a retreat and set up his dangerous right hand. Now, didn't I just say that? The jab is probably the most offensive / defensive weapon ever made. There's no other weapon that really carries both lines, that really walks both lines like the jab. Jab is offense and defense. It's that keep a ninja off of you. Keep a ninja off of you. Back up, ninja. It's that keep a ninja off of you weapon. Credited to Joe Gans. Press one. Press one. We up in here dropping science. Some drop English. I'm up in here dropping science. We up in here dropping science. Yeah, predate Wing Chun. Tell him, Shot. Excuse me, Shot just said something. 1893, 1972. It meant. Look at the dates. The brothers predate Wing Chun. Press one. Press one for the homie Shot for bringing that to the attention. That's right. This is what I'm trying to say. People up here trying to mix and match. Oh, gotta be Wing Chun, gotta be Kung Fu. Somehow this Chinese man slipped into the Chitlin circuit and got caught up with the slaves, and he was locked up with the slaves, and he taught them Wing Chun, and that's how. Nah, it ain't how 52 blocks came about. 52 blocks came about from the exact principle that melanated warriors pride defense over offense. That's it. It's not saying anybody's better. It's just saying melanated warriors pride defense. We hold defense over offense. Our defense is the execution of our offense. We don't put offense on offense. We put defense on offense. And this is what melanated warriors, and you're hearing it right here. Joe Gans is credited with creating the jab, the only weapon that we know of that is both highly defensive and offensive. There's no other weapon made. Yo, LB, Wild New Year's, that Ortiz fight is a terrible fight to start the year off with. You know, I'm just glad. I'm glad that Ortiz is still in the mix. That's a heavyweight champion that really needs his flowers. It's our natural ability. Facts. This is why we have 52. This is Joe Gans. Let's read on. Okay, now we're talking about this is Mr. Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson, a cerebral fighter known as the pioneer of scientific boxing. Peter Jackson, look him up, 1898 to 1900. Mr. Peter Jackson, people, a cerebral fighter known as a pioneer of scientific boxing. He is credited with inventing various fundamental training techniques. Hold on. Pardon me. This ain't Peter Jackson. This is still George Dixon. This is some more of George Dixon's stuff that he did. Let's get this right. I don't want to be putting out the wrong information. This is George Dixon, a cerebral fighter known as the pioneer of scientific boxing. He is credited with inventing various fundamental training techniques, including shadow boxing. I already gave y'all that one, that George Dixon. Yeah, correct that Peter Jackson there. That's right. Yeah, we coming with the Peter Jackson. We talking about Peter Jackson. I mixed up my notes. This is still George Dixon, but let's talk about it because George got more, including shadow boxing and the use of the heavy bag. George Dixon is credited with shadow boxing and using the heavy bag. Now, how many gyms you walk in that there's a heavy bag in there? If any gym you walk in, you see a heavy bag hanging it up, you got to credit it to a melanated fighter. You got to credit that bag hanging up there in your gym. Credit that to George Dixon. He did that. When you shadow boxing in the mirror, he did that. All right? As a dominant black fighter in the post-Civil War United States, Dixon was subjected to fierce racism. He died in poverty from alcoholism at the age of 37. Here we retiring in our 60s. He lived to 37. 37. Credited with shadow boxing and creating the heavy bag. Okay, and George Dixon was July 1870 to 1908. We also had Sam Langford. I got to bring my Sam Langford, the Boston Tar baby, up in here. You know, Jersey Joe Walcott. You know, we've always trying to say is that there is a unique connection to the defensive prowess of melanated fighters and 52 blocks. Not kung fu, not karate. A lot of people want to try to explain it that way, but they cannot. You can't out karate. You can't out kung fu. Were there some 52 block fighters back in the day that used kung fu? Yeah, because once again, 52 blocks itself is coming from a defensive principle, meaning you can match it with if you took up karate and you know how to kick, or you took up Muay Thai, you got your Muay Thai kicks, you can easily pair it with a defensive art. It's just easily paired because they're both flip sides of the coin. So yeah, there was people that did 52 and did karate. I think what was it Pappy Mason? Who was the dude? I think he was I think he was running with Fat Cat too. That was good at karate, and they did 52. Fat Cat was known as a 52 block fighter from Queens. Yeah, I think I forgot the dude he was running with. Somebody may have to look that up. But what we're saying here is there's no surprise that melanated fighters would have a fight system based around defense. Even when you look at Capoeira, it has almost that same energy of the feint, of the legs, you know, a hidden offense in the dance, which would be the defense. The defense would be the dance because that's where they hit it at, the offense. So there should be no surprise that melanated warriors would have a fighting system built around defense, and it shouldn't have to be questioned or merged with anything else to believe it to be a true system. And no, you don't have to have a system that has any strikes for it to be a martial art. It doesn't need any strikes for it to be a martial art. Because even if you're practicing defense, you're still practicing the fighting weight. Because once again, we go back to our word, defensive responsibility. And if you're going to be out in these streets fighting, then you have a responsibility of defense, whether you believe it or not. I got Ortiz with a win, but will Wilder ever come back? And it's Tyson Fury definitely ain't retired. He ain't retiring no time soon. Forget about it. I don't think Tyson retiring anytime soon. Yeah, let's light this joint. I've been doing a lot of rambling, not enough smoking. Not enough smoking, too much rambling. Hold on. And also the good thing about training defense too is that all things physical go mental and spiritual. It's like, how do you mentally 52 block defend your how do you 52 block defend the mental side of you and the spiritual side of you? Because you need defensive responsibility with them too, because the fight is not happening. You got to remember, we living on the 3D plane. We on the 3D plane, so the fight is not just happening on one area. The fight is happening on the 3D plane, spiritual, mental, physical. So on all of those planes, the fight is happening. So how do you train to be mentally defensively responsible, spiritually defensively responsible? But it starts at the physical, because those questions are something you're going to start asking yourself the more you train your physical. See, the more you train your physical to be defensive, it's only going to be right that you start asking yourself the questions on how do you defend your spirit side and your mental side, because they need defense too. They're under attack. They're under attack. Every time you watch your commercials, your mental is under attack. Your finances are under attack when you're watching a commercial. You be sitting there minding your own business. Burger King commercial come on. Next thing you know, you on the Whopper. You got to go spend your money to go get that Whopper. You got to go get your car, spend gas to go get that Whopper. So your mental side is definitely under attack. And your spiritual side is also under attack. So you have to learn that training the defense within your physical starts to spread to the other sides, because then you'll start asking yourself the questions of how do I defend those? Because if you can start defending the mental and the spiritual, sometimes it may not even go physical. And if it does, and you have your mental and spiritual defended, then you'll know when to kill. You know, some of us just think you should learn these techniques and be out here just breaking people's necks. That's crazy. It's crazy talk. But having a defensive mind and a defensive spirit, you'll also know when not to. When's too much, when's you got to go all the way. Defeating the villain with a clean fighting is a moral victory as well as a mental and physical. Boom. Press 1 for that. That's a fact. True story. True story. True story. And it does something to your enemy. It changes your enemy. That he came to fight dirty, you fought clean and still won. It changes him. That's right. It changes him. And in that aspect, you help your enemy. Conscious and subconscious, exactly. Starting to kick back, people. The joint is fighting back. See, you got to be ready to defend yourself. You got to be ready to defend your lungs against this good chronic, because they under attack. They often end up admiring you. Boom, boom. Okay, Shot is up in here dropping science and facts. They will end up admiring you. They might even take a class with you. Next thing you know, you're gonna look, and they're gonna be right in, and they're gonna be right in the crowd with the other students wanting to take a class. See, this is what Musashi learned in the Book of Five Rings. This is what he learned after chopping off so many heads. He started wanting to teach his opponents a lesson, and he figured out, I can't teach them a lesson if I keep making their heads fly. So I'm gonna have to use a wooden sword and knock them up all upside their head and teach them a lesson. And that became better than chopping their heads off. Dwayne Parker. That's right. We got the Coffee and Maryjane going on. It's been a minute. You know, I want to keep building it up. We're going to keep it going. Don't even worry. The Coffee and Maryjane is here to stay. We got to get a little bit more consistent with it, though. Coach, how do you feel about offensive wrestling? If I get wrecked and I can get you to the ground, I got to take you down, right? A double leg became the defense. No. A double leg become the defense. Well, you know, wrestling is very offensive, defensive. It's just the defense of wrestling is the sensitivity of the body and what the opponent is doing. It's knowing how to sense where he's going to lock up. So wrestlers have a sensitive like defense and feints. You know, most wrestlers do this, make you go high, then take your legs. That's a defensive move. That's a defensive feint. Constantly being challenged everywhere you go. I respect those Italian duelists that wrote down some of their memoirs. Yes, you see, and this is the thing where our life has been taking us, is that it's telling you to have less challenges. No, you need more challenges. They telling you need more comfortability. No, you need less comfortability because it doesn't exist. You actually need more uncomfortability. It is a crazy thing, but it's the truth. We've been taught to run away from the pain, not only forgetting that pain is the best teacher. There is no teacher on this planet that's better than pain. Pain is the ultimate teacher. Oh, he gonna get you right. He gonna get you right, or he gonna get you gone. See, pain is gonna get you right, or he gonna get you gone. Ultimate teacher. Ultimate teacher. So you can we've been taught to run away from the pain, shy away from the pain, dull the pain. No, you got to embrace the pain. There's really no way around it. Pain is the first teacher, facts. That's right. Get you right or get you gone. See, pain ain't gonna play with you. Pain is not going to play with you. It's not going to feel sorry for you. It's either going to get you right or get you going. Thus, the saying, what doesn't kill me only makes me what? What doesn't kill me only makes me what? Let's hear it in the chat. What doesn't kill me only makes me what? Boom. That's right. Stronger. See, like I said, pain either going to get you right or he going to get you going. And if he can't get you going, he going to get you right. Because you grow with each strike he gives you. You grow. You get stronger. You're growing. See, pain is not taken away, it's adding to. We believe pain is the takeaway. Pain is to add to. Because even the pain of a loss is there is the joy of victory happening. Because without pain, how could we really understand what joy is? Like, how do we know? How do we know a sunny day without no rainy days? How do we make the separation? He said, I laugh at pain. It helps. That's right. That's right. That's right. Embrace the pain. What's that saying from that Star Trek movie? Your pain runs deep. Share it with me. That's one of the dopest lines ever. Your pain runs deep. Share it with me. Yeah, I'm a Trekkie. I watch Star Trek. I said it. I said it and I ain't taking it back. I watch Star Trek. That's right. That's right. Anybody who got a problem with it, meet me in the square. Meet me in the square. If you think all people who watch Star Trek, Trekkie, are nerds, will meet me in the squares and catch these hands. Catch these Trekkie hands. May you live long and prosper when this left hook puts you to sleep. He said, we boxing in the engineering room. Oh, y'all getting it real. That's the Fight Club. Sound like Fight Club. Yeah, Scotty got hands. Kirk had hands too, but he had that crazy kick. Remember, Captain Kirk had that kick. He catch you with that drop kick. It was over. And then he had that double-handed joint where he hit you with the double hand. Yeah, Kirk had that double hand strike. I don't know what type of strike that is, but Kirk had that double hand strike. And he had that crazy drop kick. If he caught you with that drop kick, it was over. He said that kick put you into any wall nearby. That's a fact. Kirk drop kick was. I don't think we don't give Kirk enough credit on how he made the drop kick famous. He really made the drop kick famous. Captain Kirk, stop playing with me. He made that move famous. He had everybody running around the hood trying to drop kick each other. And you listen. You get caught sleeping, I'll put that kick on you. Why do Asian martial arts kick so much and Westerners like that punch? I think it's body shape. Like when you look at a Chinese man, the most normal Chinese men, their body shape lines more with kicking than punching. Our body types are better for wrestling and punching. Not saying we can't kick, it's just that we have a better body form, body type for wrestling and punching. Like you look at most Chinese men, they can dress up like women easy. Like Chinese men can easily pass for women, and this is no hit to Chinese men. It's just their body types. They can easily pass for women. But nowadays we seeing all types of surgically enhanced. So anybody can pass for a woman now. Little makeup and surgery is crazy. But Chinese men in their Chinese Red Opera Factory, the thing that they were doing, they were known for dressing up as women during those things. And because of their slender bodies, they easily could do it, make it. They could easily make that change. He said, when you squat to poop, especially them Japanese, I heard them Japanese urinals, you got to really sit down and water shoots up, hit you all in your buttocks. I heard the Japanese urinals are high tech urinals over there. You really got to have your horse stance ready for a Japanese toilet. You got to get your horse stance on. That's what I've heard. I haven't seen them yet. That's just what I heard. You even look at Russians. Look how Russians are built. That's why they're so good at wrestling over there. Them Russians look like they were built to just mangle you, like grapple you to the ground and just mangle you. They got grappling bodies over there. He said, "Be careful what button you hit on those Japanese toilets too." Yeah, you don't want to get the one that sexually assaults you. Is probably a button for sexual assault. You don't want to hit the wrong button to have the urinal sexually assault you. I don't even think you could bring charges up against the urinal. I don't even think you could take a urinal to court. I don't know if that's possible. Same for Bulgaria, Turkey, Iran. Huge wrestling traditions. Facts. Facts. Big men, too. Very big, broad men. So, what wins in the street, coach? A good wrestler or a good boxer? I got to go with the good wrestler. I got to go with the good wrestler, and there's a reason. Because punching is very the probability of landing the right punch in the scuffle is very hard. So you can have a guy that can kind of move in, take away the space real fast. The gap in the street fight closes dramatically. There's no referee to pull you apart. So I'll lean towards a good wrestler in the street fight. Yeah, Chinese has good wrestling too. He said, "Damn it, I'm a doctor, not an engineer." He said, "I'm late, but I ain't sparked my weed till now. Yeah, got little something left. You came on the tail end. Spark it up. Spark that up. Hook 'em up. Hook 'em pound for pound. Spark that up. How can the boxer learn to defend the takedown? Sprawling. The best way for a boxer to learn to defend the takedown is to learn what the wrestler knows. That's the good thing about mixed martial arts. This is what made Bruce Lee's way of thinking so real for street fighting. If you want to understand what the wrestler is going to do with you, go take a class. If you want to understand what the boxer is going to do to you, take a class. If you want to understand what the kicker can do to you, go take a class. That is the best thing by far. By far. That is the best by far. Mixed martial arts is real, people. Don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. You use you use one art to cover the shame of another art. You use one art to cover the shame of another art. Boxing doesn't kick and punch, so you go out wrestling kick, so you go out there and get that information. Judo is good. Oh man, Italy, we got to get that going. We got to Bully Burley is out there, LA. You know, we hope in 2022 is going to be a good year for 52, so we can really get out. How does 52 defend against the kick? Footwork. Now you got some blocks that you can use for kicks. There's definitely some blocks you can use for kicks, but the problem with kicks is they are way stronger than punches. So certain kicks you can't be there for. And if you are there, then maybe you may have to take a broken arm or whatever the case to defend your crown, whatever you got to do. But the best way to handle kickers is through footwork, because kickers still have to go to one leg. They still need one essential thing to happen, which is they have to go to one leg to execute their technique. Within that moment is your moment. So footwork and feinting works better with the kicker. Over blocking. You don't want to just be out there trying to block, block, block. Nah, 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 nah. You want to use footwork, feinting, and your blocks, but you want to have that as your forefront so you can control the range, because the kicker also needs a certain type of range. If you close the distance too fast on him, he ain't gonna be able to kick. Where Muay Thai is very smart at is that when you do close the gap, they immediately switch to knee and elbows, which is a good way to handle that. That's why I believe Muay Thai to be the supreme kicking art, because it has an answer to when you smother their kicks. Because you can easily smother a kick, but when you go in to smother a Muay Thai man, it's like from the frying pan into the oven, because then they just switch the knees and elbows and grind you up on the inside. And then when you try to step back out of the inside, they got kicks waiting for you. So you step out, you try to get away from the grinding, and they back to kicking you in your head and in your legs. It's really a good art. I sparred the other day. If the kicker throws a kick without setting up, you can get a nice right hand and move into range to take the offense. That's right. hmm You can still use punches over kicks. If you, that's why you got to have the right footwork. And you can still use your punches. Muay Thai is ruthless. Yes, they are. You definitely have to be on point with my homie Nakmizi, my family that was in the building. If you let him get to working on you, it's over. It's over. It's over. Over. Coffee and Maryjane. All of my people's rocking with me. I got to get in touch with you, man's gym in Jersey. I'm with it. Hit me up. Yeah, I watched a lot. I watched some K1, some Pride. I definitely watched some K1 Pride. Yeah, the art of Muay Thai has definitely evolved tremendously. Definitely, definitely. The teep kick is one of the best kicks out for finding your range. And to me, the teep kick is like the jab of the legs. And that's how you know Muay Thai is on some ill shit, because they got a kick that resembles a jab. That's incredible. The teep kick is incredible. One of the best kicks to have in your arsenal. Keep a ninja off of you. Anywhere I can practice 52 blocks in Illinois. We got to get some people out there, man. That's what I'm saying. 2022 got to be better. Teep kick, that's right. The teep, baby. Teep, teep. Teep, teep. Yeah, keep that teep up. Keep that teep up. Sheesh said, peace and war can stay safe but dangerous. Facts. Put it on a t-shirt. Stay safe but dangerous. Kickboxing having a comeback, in my opinion, recently. Yes. Hands and feet ain't going nowhere. Ain't going nowhere. Rick DeFazio said, I hold down a Hapkido in Illinois. I like your 50. I like your blocks in 52. Salute, King. Appreciate you. Speak softly and carry a big stick. That's the way. The sport is good. The marketing is always a problem. Yeah, marketing is always going to be a problem. That's where the money is at. He said these promoters are trash. They do their job. They the sharks. They do their job. They have a job like the agents in the Matrix. They have their job. Like Mr. Smith. There it is. There it is. We done did it again, my peoples. We winding down. Take the last two hits. I appreciate everybody who joined me on this live. We will be back. Coffee and Maryjane, you know how we do. Hands up, chin down, rumble. Young man rumble.